Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello students, welcome to English class with me, Ibu Robiul Ernawati. How are you today? I hope all of you are happy, healthy, and ready to learn something new today. Don't forget to always wash your hands for 20 seconds frequently and regularly. Wear a mask or face covering cloth and watch your social distancing with other people. On this occasion, we will discuss news item. Pada kegiatan pembelajaran 1 dengan subtema The Source of News. Tujuan pembelajaran kita hari ini adalah kalian diharapkan dapat menganalisis jenis sumber berita serta ciri-cirinya. 2. Menganalisis fungsi sosial news item, memberi dan meminta informasi terkait teks berita sederhana dari TV dan koran. 3. Menganalisis struktur teks news item dengan memberi dan meminta informasi terkait berita sederhana dari TV dan koran. 4. Menganalisis unsur kebahasaan teks news item dengan memberi dan meminta informasi terkait penggunaan kutipan langsung dan tidak langsung dalam berita. Nah, untuk peta konsepnya adalah konteks penggunaan pada situasi formal, informal, rumah, sekolah, dan masyarakat. Sedangkan fungsi sosialnya menginformasikan, menanyakan, mengkritik, menegaskan, menyimpulkan. Struktur teks dapat mencakup headline, paragraf pembuka, latar belakang, sumber berita. Unsur kebahasaan, past tense, present perfect tense, future tense, kalimat pasif, dan kutipan langsung dan tidak langsung. Do you like watching news in television? Do you like reading newspaper? Or do you like watching news from the internet? If you like doing all of those things, it means that you are familiar with news item. But what is news item text? I believe many of you have known that news item text is a written text for public information of what is newsworthy of the day. It is a text that consists of 5 W's and 1 H question. What, who, when, where, why, and how relating to the newsworthy. The events are considered newsworthy or important. It means if there is an important event that should be known by many people, then this event deserves to be news. Let's have a look at the picture given here. I believe that it is clear the text, the news is about COVID-19. Dari mana kita tahu bahwa headline atau judul berita ini adalah tentang COVID-19? Lihat pada kalimat yang bercetak tebal dan berukuran lebih besar dibanding isi beritanya. Nah, kalimat yang dicetak tebal dan lebih besar dibanding isi beritanya menunjukkan bahwa dia adalah headline-nya atau judul berita. Nah, sekarang kita pelajari dulu vocabularies related to news media sources. Nah, di sini ada printed material. Apa itu printed material? Printed material adalah bahan cetak. Nah, berikutnya adalah social media, media sosial. Up to date, mutakhir. Voice, suara. Pictures, gambar. Studio, tempat siaran. Live show, siaran langsung. Broadcast, menyiarkan. To inform, menginformasikan. To entertain, menghibur. Web-based, berbasis jaringan. Hoax, berita bohong. Headline, judul berita. News anchor, pembaca berita. Reporter, wartawan. It's amazing that you can answer all of the vocabularies correctly. Tentunya hal ini bisa memperkaya perbendaharaan kosakata kalian sekalian. Kalian semua. Oke, sekarang kita lihat tabel berikut. Dalam tabel berikut, kalian diminta mengisi characteristics dari gambar-gambar yang ada di kolom sebelah kiri. Nah, karakteristik berita yang pertama ini adalah koran atau newspaper. Ya kan? Cirinya apa? 1, dia newspaper, bentuknya printed material, kemudian tujuannya to inform. Kemudian gambar yang kedua, ini adalah social media. Ciri khasnya apa? Dia up to date, digital, web-based to entertain, hoax. Many of the news spread by, for example, WhatsApp, Line, Twitter, or many others can be considered hoax, although there are a lot of the news are correct. Oke, kemudian gambar yang ketiga, ini adalah radio. Karakteristiknya gimana? Up to date, kemudian dalam bentuk voice atau sound, tujuannya to inform, kemudian disiarkan lewat studio. Yang terakhir adalah television. Dia sifatnya live, langsung ya, kemudian berupa video dengan tujuan to entertain. Kemudian ada news anchors. Bagaimana? Sekarang kalian semua sudah mengetahui media-media sebagai sumber berita atau alat pemberitaan. Nah, apakah fungsi berita itu? Betul sekali. To inform and to educate readers, listeners, or viewers. Apakah semua peristiwa selalu menjadi berita? Perhatikan gambar berikut. Menurut kalian, mana yang bisa menjadi berita? A dog bites a man atau a man bites a dog? Betul sekali. A man bites a dog akan menjadi sebuah berita dibanding dengan a dog bites a man. Coba Anda pikirkan, kira-kira kenapa alasannya bahwa a man bites a dog can be news? Betul sekali. Peristiwa atau kejadian yang memiliki nilai berita atau newsworthy event bisa dikategorikan atau bisa menjadi berita. Nah, hal penting lainnya dalam sebuah berita yaitu headline atau judul berita, baik secara tertulis yang bisa kalian temukan di koran atau disampaikan oleh pembaca berita sebagai judul berita. Oke, sekarang kita lihat pembahasan berikutnya. Di sini kalian diberikan beberapa headlines dari berita. Nah, sekarang kita kategorikan termasuk jenis-jenis berita apa di sini. Oke, contoh untuk headline yang pertama, Gresik residents made to dig graves as punishment for not wearing face mask. News desk. Ini jenis berita apa ini? Betul sekali. Ini jenis berita health. Lanjut. Indonesia rocked by violent protests against controversial labor law. Ini jenis berita politics. Betul sekali. Tennis, Novak Djokovic to face Rafael Nadal in French Open final blockbuster. Nah, ini jenis berita sports. Singapore's Benjamin Kang up for Best Southeast Asia Act at MTV Europe Music Awards. Nah, ini jenis berita entertainment. Forum, School's Role in Youth Mental Health. Ini adalah education. Betul sekali. Sekarang kita perhatikan contoh headline berikut. Apa headline-nya? Isi headline-nya, Mighty Mo silences city. Dari mana kita tahu? Betul, dari font penulisan yang besar dan dicetak tebal. Nah, sekarang perhatikan teks berikut. Gresik residents made to dig graves as punishment for not wearing face mask. The Jakarta Post on Thursday, September 10, 2020. 8 people in Gresik Regency, East Java, were ordered by local authorities to dig graves for those who have died of COVID-19 as punishment for not wearing face mask in public. Camat District Head Suyono said that he punished residents who did not wear face masks by making them dig graves at a public cemetery in Ngabetan village. There are only 3 available grave diggers at the moment, so I thought I might as well put these people to work with them. said Suyono, as quoted by tribunenews.com on Wednesday, adding that local authorities made sure the health protocol violators did not participate in the burials. To assist the grave diggers, Suyono assigned 2 people to each grave. One is tasked with digging the grave, while the other lays wooden boards inside the hole to support the corpse. Hopefully, this can create a deterrent effect against violations, Suyono said. He also said the number of COVID-19 cases was continuing to increase in Cermek, prompting the village administration to strengthen protocols in the village based on the Region Law number 22, 2020. Residents who violate the protocols are subject to fines or community service as punishment. Separately, Cermek Police Chief Police Commander Muhammad Nur Amin said the police would cooperate with the military to enforce the protocols, such as by dispersing public gatherings. We urge the public to wear face masks in accordance with the COVID-19 health protocols. Okay, let's analyze the text structure of this reading text. Headlines atau title. Apa itu? Gresik residents made to dig graves as punishment for not wearing face masks. News desk. Kemudian newsworthy event atau news medianya. Di sini newsworthy eventnya tells the event in a summary form. Nah, yang ada dalam teks adalah 8 people in Gresik Regency, East Java, were ordered by local authorities to dig graves for those who have died of COVID-19 as punishment for not wearing face masks in public. What about the background? Background elaborates what happened, tell what caused the incident. In this text, the background is in paragraph 2. There are only 3 available grave diggers at the moment, so I thought I might as well put these people to work with them, said Suyono, as quoted by tribunenews.com on Wednesday, adding that local authorities made sure the health protocol violators did not participate in the burials. Sources gives comments by participants, witnesses, authorities, and experts involved in the event. The comments by participants or authorities in this text is given by Suyono and Police Commander Muhammad Nur Amin. Oke, setelah kalian mampu mengidentifikasi dari teks berita ini, bagaimana dengan unsur kebahasaannya? Kita lihat contohnya. Di sini ada teks dengan judul Singer Yopi Latul dies after confirmed positive with COVID-19. Yopi Latul, a singer popular in Indonesia in the 1990s, died today, September 9. He was 65 years old. The day before, the singer was reported to have tested positive for COVID-19. Yopi, a Maluku native, died in a hospital in Cibinong, West Java. Fellow musicians have taken to social media to express their grief over the loss of the veteran singer. The day before his death, Yopi's son, Carlo Latul, posted to his personal Instagram account about his father's condition. The post confirmed reports that Yopi had tested positive for the new coronavirus. The Instagram story post said that his father showed no symptoms and none of his family members were infected. Untuk fitur kebahasaannya, di sini kita bisa melihat bahwa singer Yopi Latul dies after confirmed positive with COVID-19 merupakan headline atau judul berita. Using dies, not died. Silakan bandingkan dengan isi berita. Died today, September 9. Headline selalu ditulis dalam bentuk kalimat present tense. Kemudian untuk action verbs and tenses, kita bisa lihat pada kalimat Yopi, a Maluku native, died in a hospital in Cibinong, West Java. Fellow musicians have taken to social media to expressed their grief over the loss of the veteran singer. Nah, di sini menggunakan simple past karena menceritakan peristiwa yang sudah terjadi. Sementara untuk saying verbs yang digunakan adalah the singer was reported to. Di situ ada kata reportnya, saying. Kata kerja yang menunjukkan dia berbicara. Kemudian contoh kalimat lainnya, the Instagram story post said that. Di situ ada kata said. Contoh lainnya bisa menggunakan kata tell, kemudian mention, answer, question. Jadi intinya dia kata kerja tapi menunjukkan bahwa si orang tersebut berbicara. Oke. Nah, di sini ada contoh lainnya, report, told, said that, ya kan? Nah, kemudian untuk sources of witnesses, the Post confirmed reports that Yopi had tested positive for the new coronavirus. The Instagram story post said that his father showed no symptoms and none of his family members were infected. Di sini menggunakan kutipan langsung dan tidak langsung. Nah, kalimat yang digunakan tidak langsung karena apa? The Post confirmed reports that Yopi had tested positive. The Instagram story post said. Nah, jadi dia tidak langsung, tidak ada tanda kutip di sini. Untuk kutipan langsung dia ada tanda petiknya. Tanda petik 2 yang menunjukkan dia kalimat langsung. Untuk aspek kebahasan berikutnya adalah penggunaan direct and indirect speech. Untuk mengelaborasi dan memperkuat isi berita, penulis menggunakan kutipan langsung atau tidak langsung dari sumber berita terkait peristiwa terjadi. Nah, pay attention to the quotes taken from text 2. Nah, direct speech from text 2. There are only 3 available grave diggers at the moment, so I thought I might as well put these people to work with them, said Suyono. Nah, sementara bentuk indirect speech-nya itu is taken from text 3. The Post confirmed reports that Yopi had tested positive virus for the new coronavirus. Nah, untuk memahami direct and indirect speech, coba perhatikan penjelasan di bawah ini. Untuk kalimat langsung, Miss Fia said, kemudian ada tanda kutip, I see the accident. Nah, bentuk tidak langsungnya, Miss Fia said that she saw the accident. Nah, jadi kalimat yang berada dalam tanda petik itu tense-nya naik 1 tingkat ya. I see menjadi she saw, she-nya menjadi saw. Nah, kemudian I-nya karena di sini maka menjadi she. Kemudian contoh kalimat direct speech yang kedua, I had a terrible headache yesterday. You said you'd had a headache the day before yesterday. Nah, di sini I-nya berubah menjadi you karena you yang berbicara. You said, kamu bilang, I had. Maka had past tense, kalimat tidak langsungnya naik jadi 1 tingkat, past perfect. You had a headache the day before yesterday. Nah, ini adalah bentuk tidak langsung keterangan dari yesterday, keterangan waktu. Kemudian kalimat langsungnya, it's been raining since this afternoon. He said, it has been raining, berarti present perfect continuous. Naik 1 tingkat, maka past perfect continuous. He said it had been raining since that afternoon. Kata that, apa kata this berubah menjadi that jika dia dalam bentuk tidak langsung. Kemudian contoh kalimat tidak langsung berikutnya, I haven't seen them since last week. She said she hadn't seen them since the previous week. Kata last week menjadi the previous week. Untuk I di sini menjadi she karena yang berbicara she. Untuk haven't seen menjadi hadn't seen karena di sini present perfect naik 1 tingkat menjadi past perfect. Bagaimana tahapan pembelajaran kali ini? Saya harap kalian bisa memahaminya dengan baik. Untuk bukti presensi, silakan tulis nama, kelas, dan ringkasan materi atau kesimpulan dari yang sudah kalian saksikan. Terima kasih. Billahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat belajar dan semoga sukses selalu.